Hi, this is Abul Hussain coming to you live and direct, and I have a very special guest joining me from Karachi in Pakistan, I believe. And you know, it's taken me a while, it's taken me many weeks to get him on because he is absolutely smashing it for his clients on YouTube. His name is Ahmad Ashfaq. He is the co-founder of 𝙤𝙤𝙘𝙞𝙖 and the Cube framework. So let's head over to him. Ahmed, welcome to the show.
Hey man, thanks for having me on board, and it's pretty exciting to be here. And I really appreciate that you're making time here, but especially given the time frame that we have already. I mean, I think we've decided this call like few months ago. I think I think it was like 6 weeks ago, but I couldn't show up, so I had this in my calendar. But yeah, man, I'm glad to be here, and let's see how best we can do this.
Yeah, no, it's taken probably 2 months, but I wanted to get you on board because you have an amazing story, you know. So for people who don't know you, why don't you give a bit of an introduction into who you are and your journey in the digital marketing space to, you know, where you are right now?
Yeah, of course, of course. So I don't know whether you know this or not, but when I started back in 2014, your product, I couldn't recall its name actually. Your product was the first product that I made an affiliate sale. So it's like, I mean, that's like crazy story. I mean, back in 2014, like in December 2014, I remember the month because that's when I was about to quit my job as a lecturer. So those of you guys who don't know me, I'm a mechanical engineer. I did my complete degree in mechanical engineering. I was going through the traditional route, okay? Complete your studies, get a good degree, and then go for the job. So that was the route I was taking, and I was pretty good at it. I did complete my graduation, and I actually got myself a job as a lecturer in the same university I completed my graduation. Now, when I was in that position, like, so for example, literally, like when you're spending like all of your life like achieving something so you can actually provide for your family, but when you actually start doing that and you think, okay, I mean, this isn't enough. I mean, you're spending all of your time making something for your family, but it seems like it's not always enough. So that's something that pushed me to look for other options. And I have been searching a while on the internet, and I've been looking at all of these successful people. And I thought to myself, I mean, if these guys can do that, then I mean, why can't I do that? I mean, and I actually talked to some of those people. At that time, it was Warrior Forum. And I talked to them, and I thought to myself, I mean, if these guys can do this, I mean, I'm pretty sure I can do this myself. So the first step that I took, and it was a pretty smart move, because I've learned throughout my journey that if you want to get to some level, you need to learn from those people who are already at that level. Okay, so that was my first lesson. I mean, and at that time I was doing freelancing here and there, and I was saving up money to actually pay to a coach who can actually help me get there. So I saved like $2,000 and I paid to that coach. And within 4 months, I actually not only got my investment back, but at the same time, I made like 3 times more than my investment at that time. And I couldn't believe it, because I was literally making like $500 a month. And that's actually quite like a salary where I am right now. So that's how I actually got started. And I mean, it's like a crazy road from there. There were lots of downs and there were a lot of ups as well, up and downs. But when you're focused on something and you know that like this is your end goal, and you start loving the journey and not like, you start loving the process and not actually like the end goal, that's when you actually start seeing results. Okay, so that's who I am. I mean, I like the process, and results actually eventually come up. So that's how I started. If you want me to continue, I could go on, because I've got a few more things.
Carry on. I want the whole story,
yeah,
because obviously I've been following you for a couple of years as well, and I do remember, you know, you becoming an affiliate for my product back in 2014. Seems like yesterday now, but please carry on.
Yeah, so basically that's when I started. 2015, we were doing product launches, and that's when I felt like we're always relying on affiliate traffic or JV traffic, which is sort of like put a limit to how much can you grow. So and one other thing I noticed that this high ticket funnels and webinar funnels is something that is crazy out there. I mean, it was not that big as it is right now at that time, but it was like booming. So two things that I focused in 2015 and 16 was paid traffic and webinar funnels. So in 2016, we actually, I mean, I was actually alone at that time. I didn't have Kadir as my business partner, but I started doing pay-per-view ads. I think it was traffic vans at that time. It's now propeller ads. It's like pay-per-view ad, and I started promoting sort of like different games here and there. And whenever I test any traffic source, I put a certain test budget aside, and I tell myself, okay, this is the budget I'm willing to lose. And by lose, I mean, I'm willing to invest that money in the traffic source without expecting anything in return. So because I would learn about that traffic source and gather valuable data from that traffic source. So that's how I approach any new traffic source whenever we're testing. So I put aside $1,000 budget to test in a weekly window. And I chose like a CPA offer. It was a gaming offer, A4G network, if I recall correctly. And with a $1,000 budget, I ended up making $800. So I did not only learned the new traffic platform, and at the same time, I recovered. I mean, I only lost $200, but I gained a lot of insight about CPA offers and paid traffic, and especially PPV traffic at that time. Then I started promoting my own offers, product launches, and then affiliate offers on Facebook. And at the same time, during that time, I met Kadir as a business partner. And that's actually a story in itself, because when I met him, we were promoting the same offer at the same time, but we weren't we didn't know each other very well. So it was a ClickBank offer in health and fitness niche. So and I called him, okay, if we are doing the same thing, why don't we just do it together? So that sort of like happened and started our journey since I think like late 2016 or mid 2016. Like that's when we started working together, and our chemistry has been so good since that time. And the reason for that is he has like pretty much the same background like me. I mean, we both came from like a mediocre family. I wouldn't say mediocre, like maybe less than mediocre, but like average family, where he is the elder brother, I am the elder brother myself. So we had like a sort of like a lot of responsibilities. Like in our culture, that's what happens in our culture. Elder brothers tend to get a lot of responsibilities. So and I don't mind that. I actually love that. But that's how our chemistry matched up really good. And then we started doing a bunch of different things. So I myself kept my focus on funnels and webinar funnels and strategy, and he kept his focus just on traffic alone. And that's how we sort of like balance the two pillars of like a successful business. One has core focused on funnels and messaging and strategy alone, and the other one focused on traffic and make sure he's the best at it. So we were doing pretty good with affiliate webinar funnels. We actually launched a webinar funnel here in our country as well. It went really good. A lot of people started copying what we do and started like selling the program that we're selling in black. So that happened. We've been there. And that time so we actually got our first webinar client back in 2017, and that was our first $1 million hit with that client as a partner, because we like to do partnership deals with high ticket funnels. So in that journey, we started off with Facebook and high ticket webinar funnel, but at that time we were having a lot of problems with Facebook, because Facebook were it's like banning ad accounts, disapproving ads, stuff like that. So we started looking at other directions. Kadir on the back end were testing YouTube ads with a little spend. He wasn't spending that much money on YouTube, but there was a time when our Facebook not only ad account, but our whole business manager got shut down. And it was during the time when I was about to get married. So it was a lot of pressure at that time. So I mean, whole business manager got shut down, and marriage in next month. I mean, I was literally losing my mind at that time. And then Kadir actually got take a hold of the traffic side of things and started introducing YouTube ads into that funnel. And I mean, within first month, obviously he has been playing with YouTube ads before that, but when we implemented that high ticket funnel into YouTube ads, we started seeing like 10x, 15x results with YouTube compared to Facebook. We were only seeing 4x, 5x results with Facebook. And that's when we got really crazy. I mean, we were doing like $1 registrations over at YouTube. And I said, and I told you, okay, keep scaling this as long as it's making money, because I need to focus on the wedding ceremony. So that's when he took over, and he just crushed it with YouTube. And I mean, we were hitting 6-figure months profit and net profit with YouTube in 2017 and 18. So it was great. That's how we really got started with YouTube ads, and we kept our focus on YouTube ads since then. And that's how we actually got started. I mean, now after that, we started offering YouTube ads management as a service to a bunch of different clients. We worked with pretty like authority clients since then, and we're spending a lot of money on YouTube ads, managing a bunch of different clients. And the clients that we work with, they're working with us for like more than 2 years because of the service we provide. And I would say, like, alhamdulillah, we are good at it, and that's the reason they are working with us for that long time. And we have a couple of clients who actually paid at 6 figures since they have started working with us, just because obviously they are making money, and that's how they've been working. I mean, any agency, if you see out there, they has a retention rate of like 6 months, 7 months, if they're really good at it, 9 months. We have like a average retention rate for revolves around a year. So that's how we operate it. So I hope that's a lot. I've covered like a lot of things in there.
That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. So thank you very much for sharing your story so far. So at the moment, you know, you're kind of running a YouTube ads agency. You are building this education company in the background. You know, I mean, just to give people an idea, how much is your monthly ad spend on YouTube roughly? You don't need to get into the exact figure.
Yeah, we're spending close to $1 million a month just on YouTube ads alone, and it doesn't. I mean, we are managing Facebook and native as well, but primarily YouTube. So it revolves around $1 million. Sometimes it's less, depending upon how the funnel is performance during that time, and most of the time is more than that. So that's how we're at. We don't like to work with a lot of different clients because I like to believe in quality work over quantity. I mean, the client that we're working with, they're spending like 100K a month. So that's the kind of clients we work with, because they have the room to scale offers, and that's what we like to do. We like to scale offers and get them to generate more money with YouTube ads.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. So, you know, you've got these whale clients, as we like to call them now. Obviously, you know, you didn't pick them up from day one. A lot of people who are watching this video, they're starting an agency and they're struggling to get clients, you know. So when you started to initially pick up clients, what approach did you take?
Yeah, so initially, like I said, we were started sharing the results that we were getting. Obviously, it started off with our own results. So we were having like our own products in the background. So we started sharing results that we were getting with our own products, spending money on Facebook ads and YouTube ads. And we actually tested our own webinar funnel with YouTube ads first, so that we kind of have those stats and results with us. So I leveraged the stats that we were having initially with our own funnels and offers, and basically share the results that we're getting, how we're generating those results with a bunch of different Facebook groups that's where I know that my target audience is. So for example, when we're doing webinar funnels, heavily invested in webinar funnels, and we were using Webinar Jam at that time. We're not using Webinar Jam right now, Our Webinar, we're using something else. But at that time, we were using Our Webinar. So basically, I shared the results that we've been getting with Our Webinar, all the stats, and how we are generating those results, like the exact strategy. I shared in those Facebook groups, and like I've generated leads that people in there who are struggling with their webinar funnels, they reached out to us and asking them if we can help them. So if whenever I needed clients and they are starting out, I know that our process works, our stuff works. And if we need them on our side, then we like to offer them a partnership deal because there's no risk to them at that point. We don't ask for any upfront payment at that point. We do ask for partnership deals because that would minimize the risk for them. And it does put a risk, sort of like a risk on us, but we don't just take any client like that. Okay, we review their offer. We review everything about their funnel, and if we're confident that we can make it work, only then we offer partnership deals to them, because we know if we have a good offer with good results and it actually helps people, we know we can make it work with our processes, with our traffic expertise, with our funnel expertise. So whenever we need a client, we're actually doing a client hunt, we like to offer partnership deals. So that's basically our first strategy, that we started generating clients that way, because it was like no-brainer for anyone out there who want to scale their business, because there was no upfront payment involved. And we actually end up making a lot of money on partnerships deals compared to the retainer model, right? So once we get them on board, we generate results for them, and we leverage those results to basically share those results in other Facebook groups, on my Facebook profile. And that's when people started reaching out to me, okay, can you provide us this service? And that's when it became an option to us, whether we want to take them as a partner or whether we want to take them as an agency client with a retainer. So based on our current circumstances or current needs, we either go for a partnership deal or like a retainer model. Now, if you're listening this, anyone who's watching out there, you need to think about it this way as well. So for example, if there's like a celebrity client or an authority client who you think can actually generate a lot of referrals for you, okay? I mean, if you can actually work with those clients on a partnership deal, that actually has been like really successful for us, a partnership deal with authority and celebrity clients, because that way you can actually generate a lot more referrals from them. If you are on a partnership deal with them, obviously you're making money as a partner, but at the same time you're generating referrals, which actually it's like a win, like a double win situation at your end. So that's what's been working for us. I mean, right now, obviously, we're running traffic to our own funnel. So that's been another source for clients to us. But this has been approach that we started in the beginning.
Awesome. And when you're talking about partnership deals, are you talking about like a 50-50 split on the revenue, or like, what kind of splits partners usually accept?
Yeah, so it basically varies on where, which stage they are exactly. For example, if they are just starting out with no credible metrics in place, we like to go for a higher end, like a 50-50 split, because we have no metrics in place. We have to test a lot of different things, and it's a bigger risk for us to take them on board. So we want bigger piece. But if there is a proven product that's already working, it just needs scaling on YouTube. All the metrics are there, all the winning creatives are there, all the audiences are there. We know that it's just a matter of getting them to launch on YouTube, and it's going to be profitable from the first week. Then we have offered 20% net profit. It's not like gross, 20% net profit, sometimes 15%. Average is around 30%, because that seems like an ideal winning spot for us. So most of the time it revolves around 30%. But like I said, if it's like a brand new funnel with a lot of metrics, with not a lot of metrics in place, then we like to go for as high as 50%.
Okay, no, thank you for sharing that, for anybody who's wondering how they can structure a similar deal. Now let's talk about YouTube ads. Everybody's talking about YouTube ads right now, and everyone who's failing with Facebook is talking about YouTube ads. What's the secret there? How do you make a YouTube campaign work?
Yeah, so it's funny that people like to complicate things with the YouTube ads, and it does seem complicated because Facebook is pretty easy. Their interface is pretty easy, but on YouTube, Google interface is not that easy. That being said, they change their interface, like new options, new things change, and changes like every 6 months or a year. Like different things gets updated in Google Ads platform, which makes it complex. But I mean, it might come to you as a surprise, but whenever we take on any client who has an existing funnel in place that's already working, we pretty much get their funnel started within 48 hours. So that's how it is now. There are people that would think, yeah, it's sort of like difficult, and the reason for that is obviously they don't have an experience with YouTube ads. Okay, now the reason it seems easy for us, because we have processes in place. By process, I mean, whenever we've got a new client, we have sort of like an onboarding sequence that tells us, okay, these are the steps that we have a project manager that takes on all the onboarding steps for any new client, right? So he needs to follow all of those steps in order, and once all of those steps gets taken care of, we get all the information that we need for any particular client. We need a video ad from him. We give them scripts and we give them examples. Okay, this is the script that you need to follow for in-stream ad. These are the examples you need to look at, and boom, I mean, they give us the video ad within the next 24 to 48 hours. We give them deadlines as well, because obviously if you don't give them deadlines, it's just going to get delayed. So having processes in place helps a lot, because basically those processes get us what we need from our client and give us like everything that we need to our media buying team, to our development team, basically who's going to install the tags and pixels and each of those things. So having those processes makes it really easy for us to get started over at YouTube ads. Now, it might seem complex to some people, and it is, to be honest, because if you're just brand new, then you need to have some basic understanding, or maybe just get help from someone to be able to actually implement it the right way. Otherwise, you're going to lose money. I mean, we actually lost money in the beginning as well, so it's part of the game.
Mm-hmm. And you said obviously kind of you help your clients create the video. So a lot of people are going to watch this and they might be interested in YouTube, and they're like, well, can I shoot a video on my camera phone? Do I need to hire a videographer? You know, how do I go about for shooting a good quality ad?
And you would be actually surprised to know that you don't need like crazy equipment like you're seeing right now to actually shoot a high converting video. I mean, you can just pretty much grab your cell phone and start shooting video ads just from your cell phone. It's not I mean, to some extent, in some industries, yes, video quality and production does matter, but small business owners, and you would actually, I mean, it's not that production quality, it's actually your core messaging. You need to connect with your audience. If you are connecting with them, then you would be able to get them on board, convert them on your landing page, convert them on your sales page if you are connecting with them. Connection is the main thing that matters. Video quality is the secondary thing. I mean, in one of our ad, I think you might have seen that ad as well, like a long video ad that we're running in InStream. I think you mentioned that. I was actually wearing shalwar kameez in that video. And Kadir told me, okay, I mean, yeah, I mean, you're waiting, and it was actually Friday, so it's the same day as it is right now. Today I'm wearing a shirt, but at that, when we were shooting video, I thought, okay, I mean, I'm not gonna wait for another day, because this office where I'm at right now, like this is a different building. My home is is in a different location, so I don't have anything to wear in this place other than the one I'm wearing right now. So I'm wearing shalwar kameez in that video, and we were generating calls with that video because we are connecting with audience, and by connecting, I mean, we're telling them these are the problems that they have, and this is the solution that we have and how we can help them. Then they get to the next step of the funnel, and then that's how it is. Connection is really important, and like messaging that connects with them is something that you need to be focused on. I mean, instead of like here, I mean, I have messy hair right now.
It's all good, man. Your hair is much better than mine. So in terms of the actual video, okay, so you go there, you talk about problem. I've got your solution. How long should the video be? 30 seconds, a minute? What works best?
Yeah, so I would say that you need to test At the end of the day, it depends on test. But if you're going for in-stream ad, the ideal length of the video that we recommend is 2 to 5 minutes. I'm pretty sure you know that if someone's it's in-stream. If you guys don't know what an in-stream video ad is, it's basically skippable ad that whenever you're watching a video, you get like a small button on the bottom right corners that says skip ads. So within 30 seconds, so that's how it works. Those are also called skippable ads. So for those type of ads, the ideal length should be like 2 to 5 minutes. But at the same time, right now we're running a few of our clients where we're running like a direct VSL as an ad. So it's like 20 minutes, 20-minute like long ad. And
VSL is in the ad.
Yeah, exactly. Exact VSL is in the ad. And the reason for that is you also got to think about your target audience. If they are entrepreneurs, if they already know how funnel works, and you just need to get your message in front of them, then you need to remove all the possible hurdles that you can. People would say, okay, I need to generate a lead. Okay, that's too. I mean, if those people, and this is coming from personal experience, they're just going to add a bogus email in your system to get to the next step, right? So we are just trying to remove all the hurdles for those smart people so they can actually get to see what we are trying to convey to them. If you're talking about getting that lead on board, you have the ability to pixel them because pixel is sort of like a lead in itself. You've got them on your pixel, which means that you'll be able to retarget them on YouTube, on Google or Facebook, wherever you want. So that in itself is a lead, although you're going to have to pay for retargeting. But for entrepreneurs and people who already know about how funnel works, how systems works, our approach has been trying to get our message to them and remove any hurdles that we possibly can, because our message is important. And if it relates to them, they're gonna move forward with it. If it's not, I'm not really interested in that lead because it's not really a good prospect for me. So that's just our strategy that we have been testing and playing with, and it's been working. And this same strategy for one of our clients, he's spending like 6 figures a month doing the same approach, and it's working.
Awesome. So you've got the creative on one side, you've got the targeting, you know, and obviously YouTube has quite a few different targeting sessions. You can do it by keywords, channels, placements, all of that. I mean, what kind of settings do you find works best, or do you use all of it?
It depends upon like what your target audience is, what the volume that you're going after. And we test a bunch of different like targeting options over there. People like to say that it's best to start with placements. It's good when you are on a shoestring budget, but it's not great when you need volume, because with placement targeting options, you don't have that much volume. And at the same time, other people who are using those placements, you're going to be competing with those people, and your CPM and your cost per acquisition, if you're going for placement ad, is going to be really high because you're going to be competing with those people. The best approach that we like to work with is I would call it cookie-based targeting. And let me explain it this way. So Google, obviously YouTube is part of Google, so Google owns all of these properties. So whenever someone search something on Google, Google knows that this particular audience is searching for this particular solution. Okay, now, and this is actually coming from a real-time experience that we did for a local business. I'm going to explain this with an example, because that's going to explain this point. So we have a client who has been running Google search ads for a local business, where whenever someone entered that particular keyword, they get our ads in Google search. Okay, now, for those particular keywords on Google search, people are going to be paying like, and he's actually paying right now like $10, $15 per click. I'm not talking about lead, I'm talking about click. Okay, so that's what he's paying per click. So Google has all of those information of those people who that are entering certain keywords in Google search network and looking for solutions. So we leverage that information and basically tell Google, okay, those people who are looking for these keywords, obviously they have data in their cookie. So we need those people, and we sort of like put them in an audience and sort of like build a custom audience, intent audience of those people. And we show our YouTube ads to those people. Okay, so this is the type of cookie-based targeting. I would call it cookie-based targeting. We've seen best works. And when we tested this option with the local business and started running YouTube ads to those exact keywords on YouTube, we were paying like $2 to or $3 a click compared to Google search, where like exactly those keywords were costing us like $15 and $16. And when we tested this approach for roofers in roofing industry and plumbing industry, CPC for search network, it goes all the way up to like $40 to $50. But on YouTube, same people, same keywords are going to cost us only $3. So that's how that's the best approach that we've seen works with YouTube.
Awesome. So finally, what I want to speak to you about is funnels. So obviously you've got your traffic, and I know you've got a bit of a behavioral scientist, you used to call yourself, or something like that. You know, how does a good funnel look like once somebody's come to the landing page and they've converted because they've become a lead? What does the perfect funnel look like for you? How many touch points does it have?
Yeah, that's a great question. So people like to optimize on a funnel has like different events involved in it. So for example, a simple funnel is landing page, a VSL page, and a conversion page. So I'm going to explain this with a simple example. Three funnel events in that three events in that particular funnel. Okay, so that's like the generic approach everyone is doing out there. They optimize at these three funnel events. We take this to the next level by actually tracking everything, and by tracking everything, we know how many impressions a landing page is going to have, and then how many people are clicking on the call to action button on that landing page. Okay, and as far as funnel is concerned, you need to make sure that your tracking is on point and you're actually tracking the main events that leads to the goal of that funnel. So you need to list down all of those main events. So for example, landing page and then call to action on that button is going to be the next step that leads to them to the next step funnel. And then if it's a VSL funnel, then that you need to actually be tracking the retention rate of that video as well. How many people are watching, actually playing the video, how many people watching 10% of the video, how many people watching 25%, 50%, 70% or 100% of the video. So once you're tracking that, then you need to, then there's another call to action button on that VSL, just below that VSL. You should be tracking that as well, how many people are clicking on that button. Okay, and then obviously it's the next end step of the funnel. Once you have those kind of tracking in place, you kind of have, you also get the ability to actually optimize for those particular events levels. So for example, it's not always a good idea, sometimes it is, sometimes it's not, to always optimize for the end goal. You need to move the optimization level higher up the funnel. So if you're not getting enough data to your end conversion goal, you can optimize for, let's say, call to action button that's on the VSL page. You can optimize for people who are watching 50% of the video. Okay, so once you have that type of tracking in place, the thing that differentiates us is having that level of tracking and then building audiences at those events level. So we are building audiences of CTA button hits, we are building audiences of people playing the video like 10%, 50%. We have been building audiences of each of those funnel steps. And then you also get the ability to build like lookalike audiences on Facebook and similar audiences on Google. So that kind of gives you the leverage to basically search more similar people who are going to be watching like 50% of your video, because obviously if there are people who are watching like 50% of a video, it means that they are interested. And if you can find more of that, more people in that bucket, it's going to increase your chances of conversion at the end goal. So that's what we like to do. And all of these things that I've mentioned, we do that with the help of free tool. It's called Google Tag Manager. It's pretty awesome. And that's what we use to basically track like everything. And to sum it up, it's good to track that information, and it's best to send all of that information to your CRM. So that would actually give you a buyer's journey as well. And the way how we are doing this is we're using ActiveCampaign as our CRM, and any lead that goes into our funnel, all of that journey, all of the lead journey has been sent to our ActiveCampaign data. Of course, there are tools out there like Wicked Reports or Highroads that does this as well, but I like to keep things simple. So all of the buyer's journey that any lead go through our funnels has been sent to our CRM, and that is ActiveCampaign. Okay, so that's like the thing that separates us, and it's actually sort of like our secret weapon that helps us like get great results for our clients and for our funnels as well.
Awesome, awesome. Well, you've been quite generous with your time. So now I'm going to tag Hafiz to the video here, because I know he has some YouTube trainings that you could check out. So to wrap it up, Hafiz, thank you. Well, Hafiz Ahmad Ashfaq, let's do the full thing. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me, Abul. It was great prayer here.